Hey besties, having a virtual job interview can be quite tricky because on one hand, you would enjoy the flexibility and ease from doing the interview remotely, but on the other hand, if you're not very careful, you could make the mistake of not taking it as seriously as you would take a physical interview. Now in today's video, I'll be diving deep into 10 tips for your virtual job interview. If you're watching me for the first time, my name is Ada and I'm also known as Thelegalpepper. So stay subscribed for your relocation and travel content. Now the first tip is set the stage. And by setting the stage, I mean ensure that your environment is cluster free. When you know you have an interview, ensure you stay in a place that is well lit and also a place that looks easy on the eye, because when you are in an interview, there is a likelihood for your interviewers to be easily distracted by whatever is going on at the background, and you don't want that. You want to ensure that you've set the stage, you've kept your surrounding neat, especially if it's a video interview, which is most likely going to be the case as opposed to a phone call interview. So ensure that you've minimized lots of distractions, as that helps your interviewer focus on you and your qualifications and not looking at whatever distracting thing is going on behind you. Now the second tip is test your tech. So anything that concerns tech, from your phone to your microphone to, in fact, anything, ensure that it has been tested. If you are having a video interview, you should know that if you live in an environment where you don't have steady power supply, your phone battery should be charged to the full. Ensure that you have a very stable internet connection, because the last thing you want to do is to be in an interview stage and something is not working. That is going to destabilize you, and it actually shows your employer that, or your prospective employer, that you are not so serious. And I know that in some parts of the world this may be more difficult because some parts of the world have more structure, but regardless of wherever you are in, ensure that at least you make a lot of effort regarding your tech. The third tip is dress professionally. Now I know that it's a virtual interview, but please dress as good as you would have if you were going for a physical interview, because that shows that first of all you are a professional, and secondly you've positioned yourself for success, because the way you dress is literally the way you would be addressed. Your interviewer is interviewing you virtually, so it's whatever they can see that shows them whether or not you would be right for the job. And something as minute, I don't even think dressing professionally is minute, but something like that is actually very important. So dress as formally as you can appear in your virtual interview. Now the fourth tip is learn to practice. Now just like you would do in a physical interview, before the virtual interview, please practice speaking. If you have a friend, you can practice some likely questions with that friend, or if you have none or none in close proximity, you could put on your camera and start talking. The beautiful thing about talking on camera is it teaches you how to talk when you're talking to someone. And when you talk on camera and you watch that video, you'll be able to watch your body language, you'll be able to watch your speaking pace. It would help you. Even for me, for instance, as a YouTuber, each time I watch my videos, I have things to learn, so I would implement in the next video. Because sometimes when you are not watching yourself talk, you really don't know how you appear, you don't know the body language you are giving out, so it's very important to practice. Now, in line with this statement on practicing, don't forget to use the STAR method. It's something I talk about a lot on this channel. I would link up a video where I talked about behavioral interview questions, and I talked about situation, task, action, and result. Whilst practicing, practice with this technique. Now, speaking of things to practice with, I have released an amazing course on CV writing, cover letter writing, and even services like reviewing your CV, reviewing your personal statement. If this is something that interests you, I have put up the link in the description box. So click on the link and you'll be directed to my service. Now the fifth tip is minimize any distraction. Now this links closely with the first step where I said set the stage, but in this one, ensure that if you live with people, you notify everybody that please do not disturb, because sometimes your village people can just know that it's that time that you're in an interview that someone will come and knock on your door or someone will start calling you. Just minimize any form of distraction because it distracts you and paints a bad picture. If you need to put your phone on silence mode, if you are using a laptop and you need to close all the tabs, please just do anything you need to do to ensure that you have as little distraction as possible. Now the sixth tip is be punctual. Now punctuality shows you have regard for the interviewer's time, and it also shows professionalism. Since it's a virtual interview, the best way to show your punctuality is by being online even before your interview time. As sometimes you may actually not mean to be late, but for some reason the tech may not be working well, something may just go wrong. But if you logged on early enough, it gives you enough time in case of all those emergencies or eventualities. Now the seventh tip is maintain eye contact. Now this is one thing that YouTubers have mastered, the art of maintaining eye contact. When your interviewer is talking to you, looking them straight in the eye and maintaining active body language or an open body language tells a lot. For a virtual interview, look straight at the camera. Now when you are looking at the camera, you may not exactly be seeing your interviewer in full range. However, it shows that you are looking them straight in the eye. For instance, if this were to be an interview, you can see that I'm looking at you straight in the eye. But what most people do is to look at themselves while in the interview. So right now, I'm looking at myself as I'm filming, and I'm 100% sure that I'm not maintaining eye contact with you because it shows that I'm looking at something else, and that's the mistake that people make. So that temptation, I know it is there. So look at yourself, especially if you feel you look good and you think that is you maintaining eye contact. No, it isn't. Please look straight at the camera, as that is you maintaining eye contact. Now tip 8, listen actively. Active listening is an important skill everyone should master. Nothing annoys me more like someone that always wants to interrupt people. When someone is talking, shut up your mouth. Okay, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it that way. When someone is talking, listen. Like literally listen. It costs nothing. And there is nothing as rude as you interrupting your interviewer. Someone wants to give you a job, you're interrupting the person. So please just zip it. And I know that there may be some times when the interviewer is talking and you need to respond to something. Simply have a note by your side so you can just take the bullet point. Then when your interviewer is done talking, then you respond. That shows a lot of good values, good manners and etiquette. Now number 9, prepare a list of questions. I think it's going to help you a lot if you don't trivialize this virtual interview. Don't take it as just nothing. It's a huge deal. So the same way you would prepare for questions after your physical interview is the same way you should prepare to ask sensible, thoughtful questions that show that you truly have an interest in the company and the job role that you're applying into. The 10th tip is don't forget to say your thank you. I think in all of these you will realize that etiquette play a huge role because it's not just about what you have or the qualifications you have, what you have up there. It's also about how you come across, how your interviewer perceives you. So don't forget to say thank you. Thank them for their time. Thank them for giving you the opportunity to interview. And if it is even possible, if you have an email of the person that interviewed you, follow up with a thank you email. This can be something short, but it just tells a lot. It speaks volumes. Little things like this truly matters. So that's it about this video. I've linked up a playlist of very similar videos. If you love this kind of content, you would love this playlist. It literally is a lot of content that you would find really educative. And if you have any comments on anything I've said, do well to type it down in the comment section, and I'm going to be seeing you besties in my next one. Until then, stay blessed, remain happy, and bye.